Hello, everybody, welcome, huh? For those of psych investigator, hello. Everybody, welcome, huh? For those of psych investigator. Okay. So, all right. So today is Friday, June 13th, and I wanted to show you some pictures about something I did today. I went to St. Anthony's feast. Today is St. Anthony's Day for Catholic. Uh, someone in May, the same person who will send me the link for Pope's tomorrow's broadcast. She sent me the link. She sort of convinced me to go to this event. She had sent me a few weeks ago. She said I should go, and she said I've had she said that she goes to the particular. There's another church, the Church of the Mobsters near me here on the Sullivan Street. It's also as I think St. Anthony's. I didn't go today, but she convinced me to go to the other one. On 31st Street, there's a famous St. Anthony's, St. Anthony of Assisi. And so she said I should go to that one because they give out bread. And the bread, so St. Anthony's like stories that he would give out, feed the poor. And so she said that she's had for years, I don't know how long, a long time, she's had this bread in her freezer from the church when they give away, and to have this bread in the freezer so that you'll never, you always be okay financially, right? You have money to eat, whatever. So I went because I thought it's very Catholic, this thing. And I went and it was quite interesting. So I'm glad I went. And here is I'm actually recording because here's the bread. I got 2 bags of bread. I'm not gonna eat the bread. I want to do like she said. Look, this is the bread. I'm gonna go see. It's a roll. But it's symbolic, right? So I'm gonna freeze it. I'm gonna write St. Anthony's bread. Don't throw out. So they always have bread. So okay, and then so that's good. So let me show you some pictures because I went around like 4 o'clock. Something like that. So let's see. Okay, so this is me there's no pictures of me, by the way, just that. So grabbing the little bags of book. Okay. Oh, God, it's so annoying. Okay, so it's so annoying because you know what? I realize I cannot. It is not okay. So it does. Okay, here it is. Okay, and there's a mass. There's masses every hour, so many different languages. There was one for people from Uganda. There's another one in Korean, another one in Filipino language, and Spanish, another one in Spanish, all kinds of languages. And this is a fragment. I thought it was interesting. This is a fragment of 9/11 building, and so this is a union, I guess, that put I don't know, I didn't put a thing there, but the point is maybe it was a gift from the union. So remember there was a famous priest that died, a famous picture of him being taken out of the building. He was Father Michael. I forgot his last name, but that's in honor of his name. Okay, so I forgot his last name, but that's that. So now, what's interesting, if you're not Catholic, it's funny because in Latin America, that's very common. You have these saint shrines, and you see there's people putting. I did not ask particularly how to do it. I did not do it myself. So I live. By the way, this is why I bought 2 candles. One is here's Saint Anthony, and I put for this is Michael, for May's husband to find a kidney very soon, for all of us, for Kamala, for the truth, this one I just gave thanks really for everything I had this year. I'm grateful. And I think I like these saint days because then it's a year where I made a promise, right, to get healthier by next year, among other small things. But so see, there's people I did not wait because I guess I didn't have to, that wasn't my thing necessarily, but people are pinning money. Actually, this is not fake money, it's real money of dollar bills, and they're writing things and they're asking for it. So you see that here in this image, he has bread, St. Anthony here. Okay, has bread on his hand. So Shrine of St. Anthony. Now, this is people online. They were waiting on the line here to touch the shrine. This is it wasn't a shrine. It was a relic, actually, from, I think, from Italy that came. I don't know if it's the one from Italy, but it was just, it should be shown. Again, I hope God doesn't forgive me for not being on that line. I just didn't wait online. And this is them. He's here, Sears. This is the people distributing bread. There were people distributing bread outside. So, San Francis House. So see, this is a lot of people here. Okay, yeah, distributing bread. So that was nice. I just want to show you something I did today. I do not have my little camera thingy, but then it would be awkward. Imagine you go to, oh hello, hey, hi, I'm here to make a video. No, just disrespectful, So that's it, guys. I'm, like I said, I hope I'll be okay. If I worry about my health, I have to take care of my health and my diet and such. Okay. So, but everybody, right, does. But at this time, it's also something else to think about other than the wonderful things happening. So, all right. So let's get started with today's broadcast. Because of my kind of, I don't want to say I'm weak, but I'm just kind of like I said, sort of exhausted. Like I'm not exhausted in the traditional sense of like, you're like, oh my God, I worked so much today. It's just that my ability to focus is not as strong or something like that. But so I'm a little slow. It's really what it is. And I'm not really doing a lot of work of like doing too much research because there's so much going on anyway. But I just want to do like a quick update. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Okay. Let's share here what's going on. Here in my reign on President Trump's parade. Here it is, the big picture. Rainbow won't stop us, the tanks won't melt. Don't, but if there's lightning, then that puts the crowd at risk. If there's lightning, they will disperse the crowd or even cancel or postpone the parade. Showers and a potential thunderstorm are in the evening forecast. The spectacle's climax has been planned to be Army parachuters touching down to present Trump with a folded American flag. Honestly, I just don't see it happening. Meaning, I don't see it happening. So there was the scene of the parachuting. I don't think that's going to happen. I think, again, there could be thunderstorms and it's possible that it could be canceled because I just don't see anything happening. And I find it odd that it's sort of late in the day also, right? It's saying gods have decided no. So okay. Let's see. So what else? Tell me more. Tell me more. What is happening? That's right. It's saying it's possible that it could even be canceled, in fact. And I see that he's so upset. He's so upset. Wow, okay. So what's gonna happen to the parade tomorrow? Let's see. I just have some cards just so okay, this is a judge. That this desperate. Theft. No, I mean, if you read it literally, it could be the divinity has ruled on it. And it's a wrong decision. It's like the theft card doesn't have to be directly theft, but he's upset because divinity has ruled on it already and he's out. Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I've looked into it enough, and I think I've talked about it in so many of the videos recently. So and I think the Pope event is going to be huge, and that's what's going to be the main story. There's a lot of protests all over the country, very peaceful protests. There's some infiltration, but I really feel like they have lost the momentum. And as far as California. Okay, just one second. Let's talk about it. I saw that there's an announcement. I was listening to Glenn Kirshner, Justice Matters, right? He was saying that the judge, of course, ruled against Trump, that he does not have the right to do what he's doing. And he has given back the right to do this back to the state, which is Gavin Newsom. But because there has been an appeal, they have stopped they paused the decision by the judge until Tuesday. So this is that. I think I said something around those lines, but the momentum is completely lost. And I saw something from the Pentagon saying that they are not going to act. They're not going to act. They're not going to detain anybody like that. Okay. So this is it. And okay, so guys, honestly, I just have a few more things to discuss today because this is sort of like a lower energy level video, but tomorrow and the weekend, right? Okay. So because it's such a volatile time, and I remember I told you as I hung out with Kathy yesterday. It was Saturday, I think it was last week. And I remember her saying that the aspects for this week were going to be violent, volatile, and she was hoping that nothing terrible would happen, but there we see what's happening, right? Okay, so what is any advice? Take it easy under the covers, maybe even for me, just take it easy, do what you got to do. Watch it. Don't engage with the content from those people wanting to stir us up further. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Anything else? Take a breather, keep your eyes on the prize. They want to distract you and make you afraid and make you think only of the evil things he's thinking of, and he's encouraging his followers to do. But this is a storm that we will weather this storm. Okay. All right. So let's continue. So guys, now changing the subject, of course, completely. And this is the beauty of being able to sometimes pause and come back. And it's something that I debated whether to share with you, but I wanted to share with you because it's a question that we have probably, right? We all have. And this is ongoing. I believe 100% that the election was stolen. But sometimes, right? I think this is a question that it's, how do I say this? It's not, I don't want to put any, this is not going to make me think lesser of Tim Walz, because you can watch the video and see the full answer. I think he doesn't say that he does think it was stolen, but some of you have this question: why didn't the Democrats fight harder? Right? It's a very legitimate question. Although I do see that it eventually will come out and that Kamala will be restored. It seems it is something that it makes you wonder, why didn't they fight harder? Right? So I just want to show you. And I want to ask, what does he know? Does he know something? What's going on? And will he come back? Okay, well, maybe, all right, let's see. Share. So this is one of the channels that I follow, right? This is the sort of like a pro-Democrat news channels. This one, there's several other ones. Adam, there's Luke, there's usually it's men for some reason. But okay, so let me just so they just basically go over what's going on in the news. And so I'm just gonna play the beginning, not the whole thing, because it explains how he sees this, but just that him asking this, because they put it in the intro. Okay, so let's just see actually. Okay. All right.
Election stolen. Was the 2024 election stolen?
So, okay. So, so you'll see that it's a long story. I don't necessarily want you guys to watch the whole thing because it's not necessary. He just says that he's always had a good feeling about the elections. This was the first time that he really thought they were going to win, but somehow they didn't. But he does not think, and he doesn't say in those words, right? So my question is, why didn't he really, why didn't they think to do something about it? Knowing that there are these cases, right? I don't think that he asked him about that case, but uh, why did they give up? Because that's what it feels like. Why did Tim Walz and Kamala not fight? Because the thing is how you see what happens with Republicans. I mean, I understand, of course, that Trump had sort of like owned the whole challenge election situation, but to us, it just seems like, right? So okay, so why did Tim Walz not think that? Why didn't he just not do anything about it? So it shows me him and Kamala feeling like they have great chances and really being very excited about it. And when they got the answer, it was like a shock. And I see that he has deep in his gut, he knows that that's what happened. He knows it, but he can't say it. And he can't say it because it's saying this, that the, like I says, the DNC or whatever, they didn't provide tools, like in the sense that let's challenge, let's go, let's ask for a recount. And it's saying it was within a margin in some states, that it was within a margin that didn't necessitate the recount, at least. It was too big. So and they didn't want, so that's okay. So I think Kamala also feels it, but they didn't want to go through the litigating because they thought they wouldn't win. And that's so okay. So why didn't Tim Walz say that there's something suspicious there? False person. Private White House. Stop now. False person did something. Yes, I see that in a way. I think he knows there's something wrong, and he's happy that people are bringing it up. But it's almost as if he is not, quote unquote, the manager. He can't make these decisions. And it feels like it's saying the Democrats did not have the tools to challenge it, is what he understands. So why keep repeating it? But I just, you know what I'm saying? I just find it, why not do something? It's saying people who are bringing it up and showing the discrepancies are doing the right thing. And it will come out. It will come out. And it's saying that there's still, I see Elon Musk realizing that the situation for him is going to be far worse under Trump than under the Democrats. So I know it's not, all of it sounds crazy, but what's crazy? I just still don't understand. I don't understand. What is going to happen to this? Do I see, okay, show me Tim Walz and the same question asked today in June 2025. Let's say asked in June 2026, was the 2024 election stolen? So it's June 2026. What does he think? Okay. So again, wanting to go 1 year ahead. So here's today, well, I can't. I see him in interesting and Kamala talking to, I don't know, students, or it looks like some sort of panel. It's not a panel because there's not that public, like it's not, there's security and such. But they're laughing. They're like, ha ha ha, what a time to be alive. Can you believe what we've seen? And that the man who did it would have come out and admitted it. So is he going to change his mind? Is Timos going to change his mind about it? Yes. He just does not want, he's saying he's very aware of not saying something that could be used against him. Right? It's not just legally, but it's just his temperament. He's not a controversial person. He's very down to earth. So, okay. All right, let's see. Let's ask this. Does Kamala believe? Yes, she does believe that it was stolen. She can't say it either. She won't say it because, again, it's the kind of thing that you have to be it's like you have to get very careful so that the Republicans don't use it against them. But okay, so spirits. Okay, just one. So again, spirits, do you have any updates regarding whether truth about the election will come out? Will it come out? Many governments have evidence. It's saying it's starting to come out. People are starting to ask this question. And there will be more and more questions. When he goes, this comes out. Okay. Will this truth come out while Trump is president? No. He will have weaponized everything, and especially and including the media. But as soon as he comes out, this will come out also, because and somehow I feel like it's related to him leaving the government. This makes sense, not right before, like, this makes sense, as long as he's the official president, it's going to remain sort of talked about, but not truly investigated. Once more information comes out and he has to leave because of his connections to Russia, then this will very likely come out. Now, my question is this. So are you saying that the reason for him to leave, if he's removed, it's because, if that's correct, it's because he wants the US to work for Russia, not because the election was stolen? You're saying correct. That will come later. Interesting. Okay, so, all right, so we'll see. All right, so let's just move to the next subject. So the next question is, what is going on regarding Israel versus Iran? What is happening with Bibi and Trump in this regard? So we saw that Israel attacked Iran, and now Iran is attacking Israel back. So what is going on in the situation here? I see Bibi waving like very, very dark energy around him, right? Because we guys know that he did it because there was a vote. This is the thing that is maddening. There was a vote to dissolve the parliament so he could be removed on Wednesday. He moved things around so that they did not. There's 2 votes missing, and then this happens the day after. It's obvious that this is the reason why he's doing it, so he can stay in power. But I see then the image of him being shrinking even lower, as if bad things are going to happen to him as a consequence. That's right. So what is going to happen here? I just see that he just put Israel in a really, really dire situation. Oh, changes. Interesting. Moving. Prison. Okay. Oh, the main person, that would be Bibi, right? Ideas. Oh, that's right. Moving away from prison, because in Bibi's mind, there's something. There's these cases in court, and like he wants to not go to prison, to not go to jail. Therefore, he does this thing. So moving away from the war, like from prison, right? And here, his ideas. This is a thought of him. So what happens next? I see that it will really harm Iran, but it's not going to end. It's going to create more problems from Israel in the long term. And still we have the hostages. So how much longer is Bibi going to stay there? It's saying he should have been out already. And soon enough, I feel like people are tired of this over there in Israel. And it's not going to get better for him. And it's saying it's just endless wars. And I still see him leaving. He digs Israel further into these wars. Now, I saw several things. One is that Marco Rubio is saying that the U.S. is not involved, and apparently the U.S. did help them. Israel targets the like some areas or something like that. So I don't know if it's logistical support or what. So what is happening here? I see that Trump is distancing himself from this if he can, even though he still talks about it. I feel like Bibi thinks that the US is going to want to be in this direct war with Iran, which it doesn't want to be. So he's just putting, I think, Israel in danger ultimately. Okay. Okay, so does Trump's removal happen? Is this somehow related to this at all, or no? No, it's saying that his focus really is helping Russia. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple of things, guys, that are related to this. Now let's move on to the whole Russia thing, because this is, guys, it was so very upsetting, this war, this Iran, the little thing, because yet Bibi is not even done with this for, there's another, the Gaza war. It's not done with that. He's already found a different one. So let's go to the situation here. You know, some strange developments related to Russia. So I'm going to show you a few things that are strange, that are just very telling of how this administration is beholden to Putin, and why I still think it's possible that Trump is going to go want us and ask for our military to work for them, because they have this, they're essentially in charge, and they're giving us the cards. Okay, so the first thing here is the outrage, rightfully so, at Marco Rubio and the whole Russia Day thing. So let me share this with you. So this is from Political Europe. Ukraine brought last Russia Day well-wishers as Rubio sends greetings to Moscow. Particularly unpleasant, says Foreign Minister. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha slammed countries that extended good wishes to Moscow, as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio congratulated the Russian people on Russia Day this Thursday. No senior U.S. official before Rubio had congratulated Russia on its national day since the Kremlin began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. No other allied Western leaders have done so this year either. So what does it tell you, right? And look at this, guys. This is them, and look at how in this congratulatory message, Rubio wrote that the U.S. remains committed to supporting the Russian people as they continue to build on their aspirations for a brighter future. We also take this opportunity to reaffirm the United States' desire for a constructive engagement with the Russian Federation to bring about durable peace between Russia and Ukraine. He wrote, "It is our hope that peace will foster more mutually beneficial relations between our countries." Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov called Rubio's reading very positive news, which confirmed that the current White House administration is completely different from the previous Biden administration. Since returning to the White House, President Trump has sought to reset relations with Russia and Putin, who he has praised repeatedly since first taking office in 2016. But in recent weeks, Trump has shown signs of frustration with Putin and questioned Moscow's willingness to make peace with Ukraine. Okay. Russia is, okay, the last line, and then I go to the questions. Okay, oh no, this is further. Okay, hold on. That's right. So Russia is simply lying to Trump, Ukrainian president said one Wednesday, adding that he hopes the White House recognizes that. So this is very, very strange. And so let me show you something else before I even ask the question. I found this very odd, okay, so let me show you this. So this is, and I double checked it, that in fact, this is true. Okay, this is let me just share this. So this channel, the press, it has a channel and one of those war defense military channels I watch. Okay, and so Russian ambassador to the US says the two countries are working on simplifying the visa process, restoration of direct flights, and the return of confiscated property, which is strange, right? So when I clicked on, so when I looked it up, so information, this is from a Russian, but you have to look, if we want to find out what's happening, unfortunately, we have to go look at the mother country, mother Arash. We are talking here. Okay, here. Okay. Slowly but surely, the third round is some newspaper. Of course, the media there is completely owned by Putin, so they can't say anything other than their talking points. But still, slowly but surely, the third round of negotiations between Russia and the United States will be held in Moscow. Here it is. Negotiations between Russia and the United States and Moscow, when they will take place. Russia and the United States have decided to postpone negotiations on the elimination of irritants between the countries to their capitals. As Russian Ambassador Darchiev explains in an interview with TASS. Now, TASS is the state media agency. The third such meeting will take place in Moscow in the very near future. According to Darchiev, the process of recovery of Russian-American relations is difficult, but there is still progress. What topics will be raised at the talks in Moscow? At the time of the article's publication, it was not known exactly what the parties would discuss at the talks. However, according to Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov, Russian plans to get an accurate response from the United States about the resumption of direct flights between the countries. Here it is. How Russia and the United States are restoring relations. After the change of power and the return of Trump to the White House, the leaders of Russia and the United States began to maintain regular telephone contacts. Putin spoke to Trump on February 12th, the second conversation on March 18th. Subsequent negotiations between the leaders took place on May 19th and June 4th. In addition, several meetings were organized in neutral venues. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's stuff happening. And we know that, of course, to external sources, that we were told they're wanting to create peace between Ukraine and Russia, but they're giving Russia so much for what, right? Why are they giving Russia all of this? And if you look, not what Trump is saying in public, but what he's actually doing, right? Because this is how we judge people, by what they do, not what they say. You see, there's an enormous effort to make Russia feel good, to do things that Russia wants. So this would suggest that soon enough, Trump is going to push it. I think it's only a matter of time, I'm telling you. And this is what makes me feel good, because you'll be turned down. Okay, so why did Marco Rubio make sure that statement? Because it's saying, so he's being told that Russia and the US are going to become allies, and that his job is to prepare for that. It's not. So I have a question. Is this, because obviously this is what the Trump administration is truly working towards, but is it going to actually happen? Are they working towards that? But is this going to happen in the sense that, will Russia become, does it make sense? Like, because if Trump got everything he wanted, I'm sure the American military will be serving Russia's interests. So it's just going to happen. Ha ha ha, no. And I see all those military leaders from other times. No. And he's going to be removed. It's like, no, get him out before this happens. And that's when the downfall of Putin ended up. Well, it happens. Okay. So interesting. Okay. So, all right. And then, guys, I just want to, so what's going to happen? I have a question. What's going to happen to Rubio in the next in a way, within 5 years, what will he be? Okay. Where? He's testifying, having to testify on every single thing that he wants to not go to prison. So he's providing all the testimony and collaborating. So I still think that he may spend some time in prison, but because of this, right? Because he knows a lot. And that's the saddest thing is that he knows he was in the Judiciary Committee, right? I'm sorry, foreign relations, I think it was. So he knows all the research and he knows what's going on. So why does he's like, I'm just doing what's asked of me. And he tells himself that if he does that, he can somehow slow down what's happening. Like he's, in order for him to survive mentally, I think he says that to himself that he's actually helping the country because it could be, they could have had a worse person. But okay. So, but that's the story. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let me pause and then go to veterans. Okay. Because I want to make sure I do at least one person per day. Okay. So took a little break and came back here. And so this veteran, God bless him, guys. I did the video yesterday without had no audio, right? It was upsetting. Then a couple hours later, I did another one, just doing the summaries. I looked into him again. It didn't record. So let's do it. Spare, please. Okay. So let me share this with you. Okay. So his daughter, Joan, contacted me. She added his photo. Okay. Hi, Rosie. Could you please contact Lee James Andelin? Born December 28th, 1922, Utah. Died October 11, 1960 in LA. He's my father. He was proud of his service in the Army in World War II. His photo is below. Question: does he have a message for my mom, his wife? Thank you so much. So, okay, so like, thank you. It's interesting. He greets me with his hat, removes his hat. Thank you for coming back again, Rosie. Hi for the third time, he says. And so that's right. He shows me again the images that I saw yesterday too, which is him bringing flowers for his wife. And that she loved flowers. I see that she may have a garden. And I see that to continue on watering the flowers. Essentially, there's a connection here to this flowers and he's saying it's interesting. He's saying what he said before, but I say this sometimes, every time. Politics. No, not politics. Why? Oh, because I copied from the text. I don't know why. So anyway, so when I do readings with people, and sometimes they call me again, I remember the name vaguely, and then as we are in the reading, I remember what I had seen before, but I don't remember when I just first say hello to them. So this is happening here too. So he said that he was always with her and that your mother suffered a lot as a result. And it was traumatic for her that he left so early, relatively speaking. And he says to you, Joni, that he's always with you and he's so proud of you, and that he regrets not having been as vocal or it's not that he was taciturn, that's not the word, but he was a very quiet man. And you didn't really quite know what he was thinking, or he was just a quiet man, dignified, quiet man. And I also understand that this was possibly generational too. So, so he was so proud of the woman you become. And he understand that you went through struggles that had to do with your self-esteem in some ways, feeling like you had like the value, like that you could ask for more. I feel like it may have to do with relationships also, and that he regrets that he wasn't there, because perhaps if he had been there to see you grow up, physically speaking, you might have felt more secure in the world. But that was part of your contract as well, as your challenges coming into this world. Okay, so okay, again, let's just say what I saw before too. So I was going to ask about trash. So what do you say, Lee, about trash? I see he shows me a rifle, like a crosshair, Trump in the crosshairs of a rifle, but he's not going to be shot. But he's just, there's crosshairs on him. They know what he's they know what he is all about, and they know that this is temporary, that this is something that America has to go through in order to progress. That trash represents the values that have never been questioned, that have been allowed to fester for far too long. If we must progress as a nation, we must seriously face these persons. So, Mr. Lee, I know a lot of people like you on the other side tell us to be calm, that this is going to happen, but it's hard sometimes because we see what appears to be impunity, especially about the election. Do you see, as the election was stolen, there was this satellite thing, that's right, like it was all floating things, drone-y like things. And do you see it being, is this going to be revealed? Yes, he's out and it's revealed. And I see, it shows me Trump being removed, and there's this cable plugs, they're unplugged. And they show, okay. So saying the good news is saying here is that he will be removed for reasons other than having stolen the election. Because if that were the only reason, chances are the bad people would have been casting doubt onto it. But it's the people that he truly works for that will take him down, right? Showing that he does not work for our best interests, but for our interests at all, period. And this is imminent because Putin is in dire straits. So interesting. Okay. All right. So thank you, Mr. You're welcome. Tell my daughter I'm very proud of her. Okay. All right. All right. So thank you, Mr. Lee. And then thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.